Hello everyone and welcome back to the MattVidPro AI YouTube channel. If you like what you see today, please consider subscribing, and if you like all of this generative AI stuff, please consider checking out my Discord server. This is where the whole community really gets together and shows us awesome things like previews of DALL-E 3. Just last week, DALL-E 3 was announced, and this week OpenAI is offering us even more. And this is some pretty groundbreaking stuff. The first thing that OpenAI announced is that ChatGPT can now see, hear, and speak. This is called multimodality and is something that OpenAI has been pursuing for a while now. Even in the original GPT-4 paper, we could see vision was available, but we haven't got access to it until now. This is going to be rolling out over the next 2 weeks, just like DALL-E 3 inside of ChatGPT. As we know, DALL-E 3 is kind of built in to ChatGPT. So this is only going to be available to Plus users. Again, that's that $20 a month subscription, just like DALL-E 3. A lot of people might be upset about that, but I'm going to explain why that makes a lot of sense in a little bit. You'll be able to have full voice conversations with ChatGPT, just like you're speaking to a real person. And for some reason, I think this is only going to be on iOS and Android. Not sure why that is, but you will be able to upload and include images in all conversations. OpenAI, for the love of God, I don't want certain features on iOS and certain features on my PC. I want all of the features everywhere. So guys, the reason that this is only going to be on ChatGPT Plus is because if I go right into ChatGPT right now, you can see there are two models, GPT 3.5, which is a lower end model that's available to both free and Plus users, and then there's GPT-4, which is only available to ChatGPT Plus users. When GPT 3.5 was being developed, the multimodality aspect wasn't being pursued, and this is really built off of some technology that's 2 years old, at least now, and GPT-4 is much more new. So GPT-4 is the only model that's actually able to have this multimodality vision and hearing ability. So it looks like free users are only going to get access to this kind of technology once something like GPT-5 comes out and GPT-4 gets rolled out as the main model inside of ChatGPT Plus for everybody. At any rate, OpenAI included this little video we can watch, so let's take a look.
We want to hear a bedtime story. Tell us a story about the super-duper sunflower hedgehog named Larry. Start with telling us a little bit about him.
Larry was a unique hedgehog unlike any other. He had bright sunflower petals instead of spines. Residing in Meadowville, Larry spread joy and color wherever he rolled. People cherished his radiant presence.
What was his house like?
Larry's house was a cozy burrow beneath a sunflower field. Inside, the walls shimmered with golden petal patterns. Natural light streamed through tiny sunflower windows, creating a warm, glowing ambiance. It was a sun-kissed haven.
Who is his best friend?
His best friend was Luna, a luminescent firefly. At night, while Larry's petals rested, Luna's glow kept them company. Their bond was special. Larry brought sunshine by day, and Luna starlight by night. Together, they illuminated Meadowville.
Okay, it's bedtime for Larry. What does he do to go to sleep?
Larry curls up in his petal blanket, letting its softness embrace him. Luna sings a gentle lullaby, her glow dimming to mimic twilight. The scent of sunflower fills the air, and Larry drifts into peaceful dreams. Good night, Larry.
So there's a few things that we can pick out and note about what we just saw. When you speak to this thing, it obviously can understand you very well. That is OpenAI's Whisper technology that's been around for quite some time. It's actually already currently in the ChatGPT app for both iOS and Android. But when it speaks back to you, whose voice is it going to use? OpenAI's new voice cloning technology that Spotify also has access to, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's also another piece of OpenAI AI news. But yeah, you're basically just having a conversation with the AI in a very simple way. This is not necessarily to get a lot of work done. This is like having an assistant, and that is something that I've wanted inside of the ChatGPT app for a long time. So this is essentially already better than Alexa. This replaces Alexa for the most part, especially if you enable plugins. So this brings us to the official blog post where there is much more information. So we just saw the voice conversations, but you can also show ChatGPT what you're talking about by taking pictures or uploading images. Yes, a lot of you will say right now, oh, we've already had the ability to upload images into Bing Chat, for example, but as I've shown in the past on this channel, that Bing Chat vision model is somewhat rudimentary, and I doubt it's going to be as powerful as what we're seeing inside of ChatGPT that's getting released. When GPT-4 was first announced, it showed very, very impressive vision capabilities. The version of vision that's stuck inside of Bing Chat right now is pretty rudimentary, can do some things, but it's not very smart. And I think that what OpenAI is going to release inside of ChatGPT is actually going to be very useful. The big test seems to be understanding internet culture, but OpenAI has been known to keep the good stuff for themselves. Oh, and more on DALL-E 3 and Bing Chat in a little bit here in this video. Some really exciting stuff is going on there. Voice and image give you more ways to use ChatGPT inside of your life. Snap a picture of a landmark while traveling and have a live conversation about what's interesting about it. When you're home, you can snap pictures of your fridge and pantry to figure out what you're going to make for dinner. This is pretty insane. I'm in university and I actually did a project about this very concept, about an app that could actually do this, and now this is just already possible inside of ChatGPT. One of the reasons ChatGPT is so awesome is because it can be used for so many different things. Oh, and in parentheses, they're saying you can ask follow-up questions for a step-by-step recipe guide. Can't forget about that. After dinner, you can help your child with a math problem by taking a photo, circling the problem set, and having it share hints with both of you. Oh, that does remind me, the Wolfram Alpha plugin is inside of ChatGPT and it's very good at math. I'm wondering if ChatGPT plugins now also work with both voice and vision. I'll have to see how that all plays out. Use it on the go, use it anytime you want. I know I'm going to be using it probably every day, just as this little assistant. And wait until these things have the ability to be autonomous and go do tasks for you, like check my emails for important stuff, or go Google this for me and get back to me on it. So on iOS and Android, to get started with voice, you have to head to settings and then go to new features on the mobile app and then opt into voice conversations. So if you don't see it on the app, you probably have to enable it in new features. Like I said, they're rolling this out over the next 2 weeks, so I just checked my app and I do not have access yet. I don't even see a new features option in my settings. Then you'll tap the headphone button that's going to be in the top right corner of the screen and select your preferred voice out of 5 different voices. So they are using voice cloning here, but they're not giving you access to it just yet. The new voice capability is powered by a new text-to-speech model that OpenAI has developed that's capable of generating human-like audio from just text and a few seconds of sample speech. They've collaborated with professional voice actors to create each of the voices. They use Whisper, their open-source speech recognition system, to transcribe your spoken words. It's very weird that in the demo video, they literally used the same exact voice that one of the professional trained voices is. I don't know why they would do that, because that makes us all think that it's cloning your voice in real time. But yeah, we're starting out here with 5 different voices. Let's take a listen to some voice samples.
Once in a tranquil woodland, there was a fluffy mama cat named Lila. One sunny day, she cuddled with her playful kitten, Milo, under the shade of an old oak tree. Milo, Lila began, her voice soft and gentle, you're going to have a new playmate soon. Milo's ears perked up, curious. A new playmate? Lila purred. Yes, a baby sister. Milo's eyes widened with excitement. A sister? Will she chase tails like I do? Lila chuckled. Oh, she'll have her own quirks. You'll teach her, won't you? Milo nodded eagerly, already dreaming of the adventures they'd share.
Wow, man, that is no joke. That is good. Okay, well, the amount of expression that we see coming from this text-to-speech model is shocking, man. This is like giving 11 Labs a run for their money at this point. That is nuts. Oh my god. Again, 11 Labs does have the ability to clone your voice, along with a lot of other stuff, so I wouldn't say it's a direct comparison, but yeah, this is good. So that was Juniper, now this is Sky.
Today, we're going to make the perfect iced latte. Start by brewing a strong shot of espresso, or 2 if you're feeling it. Let it cool down a bit, then pour it over a glass filled with ice. Add your choice of milk, be it almond, oat, or classic cow's milk. and give it a good stir. For an extra touch of sweetness, add a splash of vanilla syrup or a dash of cinnamon on top. Sit back, sip, and let those caffeine vibes roll in. Cheers.
That voice, to me, is a lot more robotic than the last one that we heard. Like, if we put Juniper back, does that just sound a lot better?
Brewing a strong shot of espresso, or 2 if you're feeling it.
Yeah, that's way better. Okay, so Juniper is definitely a better voice than Sky. How about Cove?
Growing up with my sister, she had this touch that made regular days feel special. She'd pick a color each day, doodling moments in that hue, and would craft playlists to capture the essence of our week. So to my new brother-in-law, with her, life won't just be lived. Every day will be turned into a gallery of beautiful memories. Cheers to the exhibit of moments you'll craft together.
So this voice is also quite robotic, just like Sky, but I think it's a little bit better than Sky, not as good as Juniper. Let's take a listen to Ember.
In a pocket or under a tree. Oh, where could my little keys be? I checked in the fridge behind the TV. Even the cat looked up as if to plea. They jingle, they jangle, they open the door, yet they always end up on a different floor. I searched high and low, left and right. Why must you vanish out of plain sight?
That voice is pretty good. I would say it's second to Juniper. Maybe I would use this one as like my main everyday assistant voice. But if you want something emotional, like probably reading this poem, let's say, you'd probably want to pick Juniper.
Oh, where could my little keys be? I checked in the fridge behind the TV. Even the cat looked up as if to plea.
And finally, we go to Breeze.
The phrase potato comes from a song titled Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, written by George and Ira Gershwin for the 1937 film Shall We Dance, starring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. The song humorously highlights regional differences in American English pronunciation. The lyrics go through a series of words with alternate pronunciations, like tomato, tomato, and potato, potato. The idea is that, despite these differences, we should move past them, hence the line, let's call the whole thing off. Over time, the phrase has been adopted in everyday language to signify a minor disagreement or difference in opinion that isn't worth arguing about.
I also like that voice, but Juniper is definitely going to be my favorite here. I gotta say, I think Juniper's the only voice that competes at that 11 Labs. I think the rest of them are worse than 11 Labs. I would love to import my own 11 Labs voice. That'd be really awesome, but of course OpenAI is not gonna let you do that. Better yet, I'd love to train my own voice and have OpenAI use that instead, because that would be a lot of fun. All right, chatting about images. You can show ChatGPT one or more images at once, troubleshoot why your grill won't start, explore the contents of your fridge to plan a meal, analyze a complex graph for work-related data, and you can also focus on a specific part of the image by drawing a line using the tool in the app. Let's take a look. So again, this is the only one that's going to be available on the PC and Mac as well through the website. Okay, that was pretty amazing. I think everyone here can admit that the vision is easily the best part about this new ChatGPT update rolling out over the next few weeks. That was so awesome. First thing they do is take a picture of the bike. They want to lower their bike seat. So you send the picture off and ChatGPT gives you some pretty basic information on how to do this. Typically on a bike, there'd be a little lever that you pull out to then lower the seat, but this bike's a little different, so that doesn't exactly work for the user. They then take a close-up photo to provide ChatGPT with more context, and they specifically highlight this part, which is in fact the device that you can lower the bike seat with, but it's not that typical lever. ChatGPT notices exactly what it is right away and realizes the context of the situation here. It says that's a bolt. You need an Allen wrench to loosen this, and then you can adjust the seat downwards. The thing is that this is a legitimate issue that someone might come across if they're not too familiar with tools. So then they pull up their camera roll and upload a photo of the bike's manual. And also, let's just pause here, guys, and take a look at what's going on. Look at all this amazing DALL-E 3 imagery that we can see inside of the camera roll. This has to be intentional. So lots of really great stuff. Anyways, that gets uploaded. Then they go ahead and take a picture of their toolbox, asking, do I have the right tool for a job? They might not exactly know what an Allen is. They send that right off to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT goes, oh yeah, we can see that tool. I can see that right over there in the corner. So they say, within that set, find the 4mm Allen hex key. Use this to loosen the bolt on the seat collar and adjust the seat height. And that is good instructions. I would say that's very good instructions, especially for someone who has no idea how to do any of this. The one thing I do want to know is, how does it know it's 4mm? I mean, this is the photo that got uploaded. How does it exactly know that's 4mm? I would be very impressed if it turned out that that was the right size. Maybe that's a very common size for bikes or something like that, and that's how it knows. Anyways, the user was able to complete it. I think this just demonstrates how capable this vision ChatGPT model really is. A lot of people, like I said, are going to talk about Bing having this capability, but I promise you, Bing in a million billion years would never be able to do this in its current state, not even close. So this is true capabilities here, true high-level capabilities. Very impressive. So yeah, next to the chat button, there'll be a little photo button where you can upload an image or take a photo. Oh, that's interesting. They're saying that both GPT 3.5 and 4 might have this multimodality. That's very intriguing, because I thought this was only for ChatGPT Plus users. There might be a little bit more to the story here than first meets the eye. So here we come to the portion where we talk about Spotify. The voice technology that's being implemented here, the text-to-speech, is being used by Spotify to pilot their voice translation feature. And this is going to be used to help podcasters translate their podcasts, essentially. And you can see Spotify has a little story on this themselves. So this really only applies to you if you are a podcaster on Spotify, and I'm assuming that's not really most of you watching this video right now. But I will still link all this down below, and we'll take a look at their little video.
When you say the word toxicity, how are you defining that? You're saying like toxic chemicals que introducimos en nuestras vidas, en nuestra piel, consumimos, inhalamos, tenemos a nuestro alrededor y que están en nuestros alimentos, etc.
How do you think? O sea, a modo de consejo, ya que lo estamos platicando, a diario, ¿qué opinas sobre los problemas difíciles del mundo?
You don't have to be in show business, but what I've discovered is how fun it is to have the same trabajo y poder hablar de eso todo el tiempo.
So yeah, this is the same exact technology implemented. It seems like the voice cloning and the reproduction in different languages works very well, similar to 11 Labs. You'll also note that they don't have the ability to adjust the lips moving and actually speaking in that other language. Last week we saw that HeyGen absolutely can do this while cloning a voice extremely well. So this is something where OpenAI actually has to catch up in a way. The lips are not synced to the new language. So at this point in the OpenAI blog, we get to all the safety stuff. Essentially, this is all just OpenAI assuring you that they've kept all these models safe. But we all know OpenAI, of course, that is one of their main priorities here. So in Bing Chat Vision, that really garbage vision model, faces would just be blurred out automatically so the model couldn't see people. It doesn't seem like they've done that here. They just say that they've taken technical measures to significantly limit ChatGPT's ability to analyze and make direct statements about people, since ChatGPT is not always accurate. I wonder what that is, but we'll see. So of course, when all of that stuff comes out, get subscribed because we're going to be putting it to the test. We're going to put it right through its paces and figure out just what you can really do with it. Interesting stuff though. I think this is the right direction absolutely for ChatGPT. We've been waiting for Vision for absolutely ages. I mean, I thought it was going to come out in the summer. It never came out in the summer. It's all the way in the fall now. So I'm very happy to see that a good, useful version of that Vision is coming. And I do like that assistant ability. You can just talk to it like it's a person, and it makes it a lot more usable around the house, you know, while you're cooking or whatnot. Pretty fun stuff. Let me know, is this the correct direction? Do you think it's useful, even though it's going to be behind that paid ChatGPT Plus and it's going to have those safety restrictions? Moving on, we've got some really awesome news regarding DALL-E 3. A lot of people were concerned that DALL-E 3 was only limited to ChatGPT inside of that $20 a month ChatGPT Plus plan. However, it looks like we will actually be able to use DALL-E 3 for entirely free. You won't have that same ChatGPT iterative build upon idea after idea ability that comes with ChatGPT Plus, but you'll still be able to generate with the raw model using Bing AI and Bing Image Creator. So check this out. Windows latest here says first look at ChatGPT's DALL-E 3 inside of Microsoft Bing Chat AI. So if you have Bing Chat AI, go to your Microsoft Edge browser. You have to do it inside of Edge or you won't get DALL-E 3. Go inside there and try to generate an image with some text on it, and it might actually be that you have DALL-E 3 access. Couple of users inside of my Discord server already got access. If you saw last week's news, DALL-E 3 is way better than DALL-E 2 or any other image generator thus far. It's a huge deal. But what they're showing us here is that it's going to be inside of Bing Image Creator. So taking a look at these two images, we can see the massive improvement over DALL-E 2. But yeah, if you do get select access through Bing Chat AI or Bing Image Creator, you'll be able to generate with both. Right now, it's only limited to a 1024 by 1024 JPEG. Obviously, the resolutions and the quality are going to be higher inside of that ChatGPT version. But as we know, Bing Image Creator is entirely free. You get like 100 generations every 24 hours. So you can pretty much do infinite DALL-E 3 generations more or less, which is really awesome to see. And of course, once DALL-E 3 rolls out to everyone across ChatGPT, this will be available to everyone too. So yeah, DALL-E 3 will essentially have a free version that you can use. Pretty freaking awesome. And it's all because Microsoft wants you to use Bing and Edge. So right off the bat with this story, I have to say, take this with a grain of salt. We don't know if this is true. We don't know if this is just someone lying, but it's quite interesting nonetheless. This is some weird unconfirmed speculations about powerful and insane internal OpenAI models on Reddit. Two different users here are claiming they got access to OpenAI's internal models and are sharing information about them on Reddit. Could all be lies, we don't know, but it's definitely worth a listen. So this user described in detail two different models that already finished training on 2022 with the codenames Gobi and Arcus. This other user claimed that they had for a long time access to internal powerful models through the ChatGPT API. I don't know, this top one seems a little bit more trustworthy right off the bat, considering we have code names and very specific information. This one's just claimed to get it through the ChatGPT API. Anyways, according to that first user, OpenAI are in possession of a powerful model codenamed Arcus, and this is an everything to everything model, which funny enough is kind of what we just saw today, all modalities to all modalities. However, this one is a little bit different because it exceeds GPT-4's capabilities. and it performs very close to human experts on many different fields. Furthermore, hallucination rates are much lower than GPT-4. Half of its training data was entirely synthetic, which might mean that the quality of that training data is actually a little bit higher than otherwise, and the inference cost is around the same as GPT-4 because of the conditional multimodality weights and offloading. Now, I have a hard time believing that, but you never know. The claim here is also that it is a very good autonomous AI agent, and this is something I've been covering for a while on this channel. The best AI agent we ever saw, we actually just covered this past week, so I recommend you check that video out. But apparently this thing is like totally autonomous, can go do stuff for you, and its release date is scheduled to be 2024. So this is an interesting leak or prediction or whatever it is nonetheless. I don't know, we'll have to see. This might just be GPT-5. So Yam Peleg, who actually made this post, does find it very difficult to believe, and I really don't blame him. It's difficult to just believe some random dude on Reddit. A lot of leaks do end up being completely false. The original poster here says that OpenAI is working on a text-to-video model here. He says that he's seen the video generation and it isn't great, but it's better than what Gen 2 by Runway ML produces, which is kind of considered to be the current best video generator. This is kind of what throws me off about this. The original poster here mentions about consciousness. Honestly, if GPT-4 was slightly conscious, then there are going to be a lot of ethical talks about this model, but Altman will want people to view it as a tool even if there's a chance it is somehow actually conscious. I doubt, and I mean seriously doubt, that this model is anything close to being conscious. So the fact that it's even mentioned in here kind of makes me think this is all fake. He mentions that when they released this model, he thinks that they're slowly going to add in the ability to upload videos, audio, and images. I don't know, the other thing that makes me think this is kind of fake is that literally today we just saw OpenAI actually release these features inside of GPT-4. I don't know. It just, things aren't adding up here. In other news, Anthropic got $4 billion in funding from Amazon. And this investment here is a part of an agreement that is a broader collaboration between them to develop reliable and high-performing foundation models. So yeah, I mean, Anthropic's still very much in the race here. Google's still very much in the race here. And of course, the ever-looming threat to these big AI companies of open source is growing stronger every day. And I think, you know, a part of the crazy AI acceleration is the fact that open source will dominate if these big corporations don't hustle up and get things moving. And oh guys, by the way, we aren't done yet. There is still more things going on in AI, and I'm only covering the big stuff. Microsoft unveils Copilot. This is your everyday AI companion. This is an AI agent for your computer. It's going to be inside of Windows 11, and Min Choi breaks this down very well for us. This is supposed to be one assistant to rule them all. It aims to unify different applications capabilities, incorporating intelligence from your work data, web content, and your activities right onto your PC. It empowers you to improve your productivity overall. It can do things for you. It can use Microsoft apps, it can use your computer, it can install stuff. It is like having a person. Take a look at this video. So, this is insane. Obviously, there's a general Windows update that's coming with this, but Copilot here is obviously the main takeaway. Like, this is insane. As you can see, it has those same Bing chat options. You can speak to it just like we see with ChatGPT being announced today, but it can go pull up your Spotify for you and put something on in the background. ChatGPT can't do that. As you can see, it even has options like, what are some other playlists on Spotify that I might like? Yeah, it can literally open up your Spotify for you. You can ask it to organize all of your windows for you and will just like move them around. Like having an AI built inside of your computer. You can ask it to turn on dark mode there. It'll do that, no problem. You can have it summarize and do things just like ChatGPT will, but it's built into your Windows. It's built into your programs. So it's a little bit more integrated and easier to use. You see, it takes those words and tosses them right into the AI, helps you create, tosses stuff right in there. All of these different tools being developed. Yeah, and also you can take photos and upload them just like we saw being straight up announced today inside of ChatGPT. And they have specific editing stuff, just like Photoshop, removing a background immediately. Create an Instagram reel with photos from my vacation. Now that's ridiculous. Can literally open up and use Adobe Express apparently. I mean, we're going to have to put this thing to the test. It's going to be integrated with all of your Microsoft 365 apps and will help you create with AI, get work done with AI. This is so powerful. This is so huge and adds a ton of value to Microsoft 365 chat. It's game-changing technology we're seeing unfold right before our eyes. I mean, what is going on at this point? If you're wondering when Microsoft's Copilot is going to be coming to your Windows 11 computer, well, it's tomorrow if you're watching this video on the 25th when it's releasing. It's coming out on the 26th, so I gotta cover this like immediately. I'm still on Windows 10, so I have to update to Windows 11 today. Yeah, this is huge. This is coming out tomorrow, so buckle up. You might already have access to it. Insanity just unfolding before our eyes. Like I said, I only covered the big AI advancements, so follow me on Twitter for more and also join the Discord for the latest and greatest up-to-date updates. This stuff is insane. More videos to come in the future. We're covering all of it. We're staying up to date. AI is the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.